Hoopa Unbound is getting its own raid day in Pokemon Go, but there is a little bit of a problem with it. And in this video, I will be exploring this issue and I'll be going through everything this event has to offer and the best tips to help you make the most of it. So the event will be taking place from February 15th between 2 PM and 5 PM local time. But what exactly does this event have to offer? Well, for the bonuses, Hoopa Unbound will be appearing on every gym in 5-star raids, and the raids will be resetting every 30 minutes. You will be able to receive up to 5 raid passes from spinning gyms, and these will be additional to the daily free raid pass you get and the extra one that you get for the seasonal bonus. And you can save one from the day before, so you can get a total of 8 for the day. And the remote raid limit will be increased to 20 from February 14th at 5 PM PST until the 15th at 8 PM PST. And this is actually the first time Hoopa Unbound can be remote raided, because last time it was in raids, it was in elite raids, which are in person only. So definitely a great time to get this Pokemon for the Pokedex if you haven't got it yet. But like I mentioned before, there is a bit of a problem with this event. So raid days normally have boosted shiny rates of 1 in 10, but for this raid day, Hoopa Unbound actually can't be shiny. But why is that? Well, the reason is quite a simple one. Typically, mythical Pokemon like Hoopa are distributed via a mystery gift for the main series games, and often the shinies are too at different points in time. But in the 10 years since Hoopa was unveiled, no shiny version of Hoopa has been available in the main series games, and this means Niantic can't release it in Pokemon Go until it's come to the main series games. This is a similar reason for why Enamorus is not shiny eligible in Pokemon Go yet. Although shiny Enamorus has actually been released for the main series games, it's only been released very recently, so we will have to wait until the next rotation for shiny Enamorus. Shiny Hoopa, on the other hand, could well return to the game without being shiny in the future. It all depends when the shiny is distributed to the main series games. With that said though, during the raid day, you do also have the option of purchasing a $5 ticket, and it will get you 8 additional raid passes from spinning gyms. You'll have an increased chance of getting Rare Candy XL from raids, and you'll get 50% more XP and 2 times Stardust from raids. These effects will be active between 2 PM and 5 PM on the day. But is the ticket actually worth purchasing? For most raid days, I would say yes, but with the lack of a shiny for this event, I probably would say this is one of those events where the ticket has less value, because whilst you will be able to raid it more and benefit from the ticketed bonuses, you are probably best off just waiting till the shiny's available before you raid it a lot. So in this case, I would recommend just using the free raid passes you get for the event instead of purchasing more through the ticket. However, if you do decide you want to raid this Pokemon more and you do want to purchase the ticket for the additional passes, it is worth noting that you may find better raid pass value in the bundles in the in-game shop. And the green premium battle passes that you get from the bundles do have more value than the orange ones that you get from this ticket, because you can use the green ones in Go Battle League as well as raids, and they won't expire either, so that's something to bear in mind. So I will be getting into how good Hoopa is in Pokemon Go, but first, what are the best counters for it? So it will have a raid TP of 57,305, and the 100% IVs will be 2289 and 2862 if it's boosted by windy or foggy weather. Hoopa Unbound is a Psychic and Dark type, meaning it is weak to Fairy, and it has a double weakness to Bug. So this is actually one of those rare instances where Bug is the most useful type. The best counters are Mega Pinsir, Mega Heracross, Mega Scizor, Shadow Pinsir, Shadow Escavalier, Vikavolt, Mega Beedrill, Genesect, and Shadow Scyther. And for budget options which are generally easier to obtain and power up, I would recommend Vikavolt, Scizor, Pinsir, Golisopod, Escavalier, and I would also recommend Yanmega and Scyther. This raid can be done with as few as 2 trainers if you have the best counters at high levels. Otherwise, I would consider adding another trainer, and remember to party up, because using party power is really strong and it will make a lot of difference. And if you are looking for people to help you with these raids, remember you can remote raid these and you can host them and invite people. It's always worth joining a local or global Discord or Facebook Messenger group to try and find people to raid with. You could also do this via meetups in the Niantic Campfire map view. Alternatively, you could use Niantic Campfire to join raids remotely or find people to invite to your raid. But how good is Hoopa Unbound? Is it actually worth raiding without its shiny? So being a Psychic and Dark type, it does resist only Psychic attacks. It has access to Confusion and Astonish as fast attacks, and Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball, and Psychic as its charged attacks. To be at its best as a Psychic type attacker, it does want Confusion and Psychic, and with this moveset, it is the 8th best Psychic type attacker. This also happens to be its strongest moveset overall. As a Dark type attacker, its best moveset is Confusion and Dark Pulse, because unfortunately it doesn't have access to a Dark type fast attack. And with this moveset, it is the 21st best Dark type attacker overall. So generally not a great Dark type attacker, but this can change with move updates in the future, especially if it does get access to its signature move Hyperspace Fury, which is a particularly strong damage dealing Dark type attack in the main series games. It's also worth noting that in its confined form, it's a Psychic and Ghost type, and it is at its best as a Ghost type attacker, where it is the 20th best with moves moveset Astonish and Shadow Ball. When it comes to Go Battle League, Hoopa Unbound is ranked 81 in the Master League with Astonish, Dark Pulse and Shadow Ball. So not a bad Pokemon in this league, but it is a little bit limited in terms of its availability in Pokemon Go. Maxing one out with XL candies is not very accessible, and generally there will be better Pokemon to use your Stardust on that are a lot easier to get a hold of. But with the fact that it is the most accessible it has been in Pokemon Go with this event, then this is the best time to build one for Master League if you want to. With that said though, there are some other reasons why it's worth raiding this Pokemon, and one of them is that you can send Hoopa to Pokemon Home. In the past it has only been the confined form of Hoopa that has been able to be transferred to Pokemon Home, but from this event and continuing afterwards, Hoopa Unbound will be able to be transferred to Pokemon Home as well, so a great way to get Hoopa Unbound for the main series games. Also, from the start of this event, all trainers will be able to form change Hoopa. In the past, you did have to complete Special Research Mischief Unbound to access the form change ability. However, this is no longer a requirement, but bear in mind that it will cost 10 Hoopa Candy and 2000 Stardust to change the Unbound form into the confined form, and it will cost 50 Hoopa Candy and 10,000 Stardust to go from the confined form to the Hoopa Unbound form. So it is worth considering this when form changing. And lastly, remember you can't trade mythical Pokemon in Pokemon Go, so you will have to raid this one for yourself if you want it. So if you do decide to raid this Pokemon, how can you maximize candy from it? So you can always use peanut berries while catching it, and you can use Mega Evolution to get even more candy. But for raid caught Pokemon, it actually works a little bit different than it does for Pokemon caught in other ways. So normally you do want to Mega Evolve a Pokemon that shares a type with the Pokemon you're catching to get more candy, Candy XL and XP. But from Pokemon caught from raids, you will still be able to get bonus candy if you Mega Evolve a Pokemon that doesn't share a type with Hoopa Unbound in this case. However, if you want more Candy XL for it, then the Mega Evolve Pokemon does want to share a typing. So for Hoopa Unbound, you can Mega Evolve Alakazam, Slowbro, Gyarados, Houndoom, Tyranitar, God of War, Sableye, Medicham, Absol, Latias, Latios, Gallade or Rayquaza. And if you want to get more Stardust during this event, then it is worth noting that the Beloved Buddies event will be ongoing at the same time as this event, and the following Pokemon will be giving an additional 500 Stardust per catch: Diglett, Slowpoke, Dunsparce, Cutiefly, Fomantis and Shelder. And as well as in the wild, these will also be spawning off lure modules that will be lasting for 1 hour during this event, so it might be worth using some of these to get some of these catches. And in particular, Shelder is one you really want to look out for whilst playing this event, because it is a Stardust boosted Pokemon that normally gives 1000 Stardust per catch, and with this bonus it will be giving 1500 Stardust per catch. So for all of these Pokemon that are giving additional Stardust, it's well worth catching them in between raids and using an auto catcher whilst you're raiding. And as for meta relevance, Dunsparce is actually a really useful encounter because it is actually one of the best Pokemon in the Great League at rank 12 with 0, 14, 12 IVs. So a good time to pick up some Dunsparce with PvP IVs in the wild where there is no IV floor. It will also have a shiny boost during the event, and it does have an evolution to Dunsparce coming in the future, so it might be worth preparing for that. Diglett doesn't have much meta relevance, but like Dunsparce it does have a shiny boost, so it might be worth going after that if you haven't got it. Again, for Mantis doesn't have much meta relevance, but its evolution Lurantis does see a bit of play in Great League, where it is ranked 144 with 0, 15, 15 IVs. And in the Love Cup that will be running during this event, Lurantis is ranked 28 with 0, 15, 15 IVs as well. Now out of the two Nidoran that are available for this event, the female version will have the most relevance because Nidoqueen is ranked 51 in the Ultra League with 0, 14, 15 IVs. And lastly, Slowpoke and its evolutions don't have much relevance normally, but in the Love Cup, Slowbro is ranked 42 with 0, 13, 15 IVs, and the Galarian version of Slowbro is very strong in this cup, where it's ranked 3 with 0, 14, 11 IVs. Slowking is also ranked 40 in the Love Cup, so not a bad option either. Worth noting though that all of these do want Legacy Move Surf to be at their best. And with that said, if you did enjoy this video, then I recommend checking out these videos on the screen now, and I'll catch you in the next one.